investigated during your time prior to and with the district attorney's office?
I have. So several of those methods, whether it be phone extractions, jail calls, police reports, incident reports, cell phone location records, things of that nature. I mean, there's countless ways I've done it over the years.
And have you also utilized lawful surveillance technology in order to gain information unknown to the general public?
Correct. Whether it be in-person surveillance that we've done out in the field in these communities, or wiretap investigations that provide to be pretty successful in these types of cases.
I'm going to show you what has been marked as State's Exhibit 22. Are you able to see State's Exhibit 22 on your screen in front of you?
I am.
And I'm going to show you the second page of State's Exhibit 22.
I can see it.
See it?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you tell the court what State's Exhibit 22 is?
That would be my CV.
Is that a fair and accurate copy of your resume?
It is.
Your Honor, State tenders State's Exhibit 22 as evidence.
I'm mute, Judge.
Just one moment. The defense counsel have been provided a copy of it, but they are taking a look at it now, I believe.
Okay, all right.
Okay. I'm sorry. Your Honor, the state tender states 22 as evidence, and I will speak just a little bit slower for the court reporter, and I'd ask that Lieutenant Viverito do so as well.
Gotcha.
Any objection to States 22? Hearing none, States 22 is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Lieutenant Viverito, would you please tell the court whether or not you've had occasion to interact with defendants or persons who have claimed association or affiliation with a group called Young Slime Life?
I have. There are some defendants that I personally have supervised under some sort of community supervision. There are others that I've assisted with their supervision based on things that they've had going on, or that I have joined in partnership either with the Atlanta Police Department or my GBI Gang Task Force to investigate. And there are several defendants that I've interviewed both in and out of custody, as well as their family members.
What other interaction and since we just lost a very critical member of our Zoom audience, we're going to wait just a second until we get that person back out.
Muted.
The court is muted right now.
I didn't miss anything. I'm just muted, and my camera tends to want to go off sometimes, but I'll let you know if
Lieutenant Viverito, would you tell the court specifically about your interaction and what information you've been able to obtain about the group called Young Slime Life?
I've been able to obtain information on members, leadership, the way that they operate, crimes that they have committed, rivalries that they have, alliances that they have, ongoing issues that they have within the community, and things of that nature.
And how have you been able to obtain that information?
Both between in-person interviews as well as evidence that's been recovered during investigations.
During your time with the Atlanta Police Department, were you trained in the method and protocol of the Atlanta Police Department in determining whether or not an individual is either associated with or a member of a criminal street gang?
Sure. Each agency is pretty much going to have their own standard for what they use to identify a member. So the Atlanta Police Department uses a 6-point criteria that was developed in California years ago. The first point is going to be self-admission. The second is going to be a reliable informant identifying somebody as a member of a gang. The third would be an informant of previously untested reliability. Sorry.
For me.
It's going to be an informant of previously untested reliability, providing information that can be independently verified. The fourth is going to be an individual that resides or frequents in a particular gang's area where they adopt hand signs, clothing, style, their affect, things of that nature, and they are associates of known gang members or in the company of known gang members. The fifth is going to be that they are arrested on multiple occasions in the company of known gang members, with offenses that are going to be consistent with criminal street gang activity. And the sixth is going to be that if they don't really meet any of those, but they're frequently hanging out or associated with the members, they'll be identified as an associate. They need to meet one of those criteria by APD standards to be identified as a gang member.
Is every group that adopts similar identifying factors considered by you or by the agencies that you've worked with criminal street gangs?
No, in order to be labeled or identified as a criminal street gang, you need to engage in criminal street gang activity. One of the offenses that's going to be enumerated or identified as criminal street gang activity per the statute, and you're going to have to do these offenses in furtherance of the gang.
And what is it that distinguishes a criminal street gang from a group or organization that maybe adopts the same lingo and colors but isn't involved in criminal activity?
I'm sorry, you broke up for a second. Can you repeat the question for me?
I can. What is it that distinguishes a criminal street gang from a group who associates with one another, maybe wears similar colors, speaks a certain language, but does not engage in criminal activity? What distinguishes a criminal street gang from just a group of people hanging out together?
It's going to be the commission of the criminal gang activity. Once the criminal element is introduced and the crimes are introduced in furtherance of the gang, that's where it's going to identify them as a gang.
And how do you determine or identify a criminal street gang? How do you go about saying, yes, let me see, this group has this, this, and this, and therefore we believe that it's a criminal street gang?
A criminal street gang by law is going to be a group of three or more associated, whether formal or informal, with common identifiers, hand signs, symbols, speech, things of that nature. It's not limited to that. But and they're also going to engage in criminal activity that further the gang.